Morning. How you doing, sweetie pie? Making you a rambling video. If I can get this thing to sit right. Probably be shitty, but we'll see. There's just a lot of things going on up here. And I wish I had like a tripod for this video camera so I could just set it up and then get to work. But fucking shit happens so fast. You know, I'm sitting in the kitchen having a Sammy, and the old man goes walking out of the fucking building, the house, so I go racing out with him, put on my boots, and the next thing I know, we're fucking running, 2,000-pound fucking draft horses down the middle of the fucking highway that we're on right now, with no permit, no nothing. Sorry about the camera. I'm giving this a shot to see if I can get it to sit where I want it to sit. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know all the cool things that's going on. Like I told you yesterday, I think on the phone, that I was breaking horses, but I didn't tell you the extent of that. We had to go freaking get those horses. I have a big, huge pen with a whole bunch of other pissed off horses in it and separate those motherfuckers. And then once we got them out, and these horses have never had anybody even touch them. And once we got those motherfuckers out of the pasture and got them into a corral, now we got to start working on separating them from each other. Then we got to worry about, or start containing them in smaller environments so that we can get a fucking halter on them, or a rope or something, so we have some kind of control of their head. And then, of course, you get a halter on a 2,000-pound horse and tie him to a post. You better have driven that post to China, because these fuckers will try to climb fences like stairs, and they just destroy, the corrals. Just snapping rungs right off of those corrals. They look like, I'm sitting there and all I could think about is, oh my God, this horse is going to fucking kill itself. And Bud's walking around and basically walking underneath the motherfuckers. I mean, that's how close he is to him. He, just calm as a fucking daisy. Walking around these fucking horses and shit. And I'm watching them climb, 4 feet off the ground up a fucking corral fence. And then just snap the freaking top rail right off of it. And boom, go back on their back. I mean, they would flip all the way over if their head wasn't tied to a fucking post. And we got one yesterday, and the fucking thing was, we pinned it in between two fences because it's so small that none of the halters were fitting. We finally got a halter on it, and it just sat in there just like this raging fucking bull, just smashing its fucking head back and forth on the gates that we pinned it between, flipping over backwards, dropping. One time Bud goes, hey, let me go see if I can find a halter in another thing. You hold her. And I'm holding her through the corral fence. And I do have a wrap on her at that time. And she just says, fuck this, and sits down, rears her head back and rolls over backwards, and then goes underneath the fence, underneath the gate that we had her pinned in. And now I've got her by a loose fucking rope I roped her fucking with, and it's me and her. She is backing up as hard as she can to get to the other horses and to get out of this situation we got her in. And I'm literally luckily I had a pair of gloves on her. It was over. I just would have let go, because she pulled the rope out of my hand. Slid the rope down my hands a couple times and warmed up those gloves pretty good. By the time Bud got back from his fucking leisure walk from the damn barn, it wasn't a leisure walk, but fuck, it just looked like he was just casually walking around. And then he realizes, oh shit, it looks like the horse is in the other pen. And then he comes over and helps, but didn't even realize the whole time I had like about 4 inches of rope left. That thing had slid all, 15 feet down my hand, 12 feet, whatever. Anyway, just little stories like that is what I wanted to tell you about, because I don't get a chance to tell you in the 10 minutes we're talking down there. But and then then I'm like, whew, that's a hard day. And he's all, oh shit, we better fix this corral. And right away I know what that means, because I already fixed the corral twice. And that means going up, cutting down a fucking log, taking the log over to the mill, chopping it up into fence, boards that are 32 feet long, and taking them over with a tractor and bolting them back to this corral. I already did it twice. And so he, end of the day, oh, I'm dying. And he's like, yeah. And remember, he's 81. And he's like, yeah, we better fix the top of those boards where that horse screwed that shit up. And I'm like, all right, let's go, buddy. It's just so fun to work with him. But yeah, I just wanted to give you more details of what's going on up here. Tom called me or sent me a text saying, dude, we're in the same fucking state and we never see each other. What the hell? And I'm like, my bad, dude, but I told him I come by your house every single day. And it's always 2 white trucks that I'm not familiar with, your wife, and no Tom truck. So, why am I going to roll in there? So I'm waiting for his response on that. Should be a good one. I'm not really chit-chatting with the monk anymore, and I told you about that. I didn't like his attitude about Bud. Bud dug those candies, though. They wolfed through those boxes already, just that fast. Of course, they hand them out to everybody that comes over to, like, hey, you want an awesome candy bar? They should covet those and put them somewhere in a wooden box or something. I've been working on getting Bud to do more stuff that Donna wants him to do, faster, instead of letting these big Donna lists, pile up. So every time she says something, she knows to say it around me, because I'll be like all day long, hey, are we going to fix that birdhouse thing Donna wanted? We staple it together? And he'll be like, what? Fuck, John. You can't just fucking snap to them. If you just jump to what they want you to do all the time, then fuck, they'll want you to do shit all the time. He's just so funny. He's like, that's what's wrong with the world, is women are not in the house anymore. They're out working. When we did that, we fucked everything up. You think that's the demise of everything, is women and the internet. I'm moving him towards the internet, though, because both of them, actually, I keep dogging Donna about grandchildren and how easy it is to keep in touch with them, because they're all social media whores now. Every fucking kid from age 2 on up. And then I told Bud that I told him, I said, how do you think I know all this shit about your horses and everything around here? And how do you think I tell you information about your foal? What she should be doing, or if it's okay she's eating her own shit, or she drinks, that fucking horse can drink, almost 3 gallons of water a day. She pees like straight white. I think it's like a habit. But they said in the books and shit, don't ever restrain mare or foal from water. So gurgle it up. The other ones have lakes. There's lakes all over their property now, big ones, like 6 feet deep, 6 or 7 acres of lake. So they can just gurgle water anytime they want. Plus they can suck off their mom's teat anytime they want. Like they could be, they could be nursing, 3 times in an hour. This one's getting, a jug, maybe a gallon of some expensive fucking milk. Every 3 hours gets a gallon of it. And in the books too, they say sometimes if a mare is a little restrictive with her teats, then the horse can tend to try to make up for it with water. So maybe that's what she's doing. But the milk is like $5 a feeding, and that fucking horse gets fed every 3 hours from 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Bud gets up, and Bud, I think the only reason he's trying so hard to keep this fucking thing alive is because of me and my interest in it. But he just doesn't have that mentality. I mean, I don't know, without me being there, I don't know if that thing would have just stayed in that horse trailer until he just said, okay, well, fuck, it's 1 year old, so it should be good. I have no idea. I know they probably wouldn't have built a corral, but I know he has hand reared them before. There's one in the in the pasture that's like 2 years old that recognizes him, is like bonded with him. I'm sure May's like that with me. She is fucking ornery as shit. Too ornery. It's like I gotta put on some shin guards, I think. She's gonna definitely test me to see if I'll smack her back. Which, that's the problem, is it gets to a point where she literally thinks that I'm another colt, and her and I are buddies. And that's what they do. They jump up and butt each other and kick each other and see what it's like to be kicked, and that's how they get the test world on. It's funny, when I go in with the cow pastures or the horse pastures, a lot of times you would think it'd be horses, with moms and the colts or the foals with them. But a lot of times you go in there and all the foals are together, all the colts are together, and all the adult horses are somewhere else together. And then, they all scatter back to each other. The moms come to protect them and stuff. But hey, this is going to be a good video, and I hope this doesn't fucking look like total shit because it's bouncing around all the time. All right, I digress. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do like a thoughts video. I think I've met like 10 people up here, like 10 families and shit. A lot more than 10 people, but like 10 families. And there ain't one Looney Tune up here yet. I mean, any more crazy than this motherfuckers where I live, So, I fucking love it up here. I mean, where else can you be? There's fucking... You can just sit on your porch any given day and see, 4 or 5 eagles flying around, or fishing, or trying to get a goose. Fucking eagle swooped down on a goose, and I saw like 4 fucking geese whip open those, 4.5 foot wingspans and start flapping and jumping at the eagle, and he decided he might want to veer off, and he ended up fucking smashing right into the water and dusting it off. He almost made it look like he meant to. I meant to do that. I was just testing you guys. But it wasn't. He was like, fuck, incoming. Anyway, that's pretty cool, because I told Bud, I said, how do these little, all at the same time, all this fowl around here is dumping their litters. It's not called a litter. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, they're all having babies out here, and they're zooming around with these little babies, and there's these 6 foot wingspan there's hawks too. There's badass hawks, beautiful hawks up here. But there's these massive eagles. There's bald eagles that don't have a white head. That means they're less than 5 years old, or around there. And then there's bald eagles, big, massive ones, that just rock some of these big trees when they land on the top of them. And then there's golden eagles. I got wicked Tottenham going on right now. Yeah, there's golden eagles. And these things dwarf the bald eagles. They're bigger than the freaking bald eagles, believe it or not. First time I saw one of those, it looked like it looked like a little fawn, a little baby deer, with both of his fucking legs sitting on top of a fence, with his legs underneath him and his front legs down in front. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I kind of focused on it, and I was like, holy shit, that's that thing's a jewel size.